Here with Joe Scali. Joe, I've known you for what now, 7, 8 years, something like that now. Uh,
Yes, sir.
I've always known you as a CrossFitter and a CrossFit athlete, but a number of people know you also as a past collegiate hockey player and even professional hockey player that you played for a while. And then now this kind of new career that you've got, very successful gym owner and owner of Semiamu Athletic Club as well. So congratulations on all that achievement. It's been a great career up to date. Got a series of questions for you today that I'll go through. We've got 5 questions in all.
Okay.
And get to know you a little bit better and find out more about your history in the gym and your opinion, and obviously the upcoming CrossFit Games Open as well, and get your thoughts on that too. I'm going to start with a pretty basic question here. So obviously you're a young athlete and progressed through the ranks in hockey, and now you're a coach, and a lot of people at Semiamu Athletic Club know you as a coach. What's one thing that you wish you knew as a younger athlete that as a coach now you know?
Oh man, there would be a huge list on this, but I would say more dedication to nutrition. When my wife started working with me, 2014 is the year before I made the CrossFit Games. This is when she started studying nutrition, started doing her courses when she was working for Vega, and she became a nutritionist. The first thing she did was look at, the first person I can help is my husband, who eats a Tim Hortons bagel, a French vanilla in the morning, trains like crazy, and then my nutrition was all over the map. So I think nutrition is number one. Number two was I would say sleep habits, stress management. I never did that stuff when I was a kid. After we played hockey games, or when I was even playing hockey in college, it was like, okay, I didn't care about sleeping or riding the bike after. I cared about crushing beers and partying. So, I could have probably made a lot farther in hockey if I dedicated. So one thing I would learn is, I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun, but there's sacrifices to be made, and I didn't make it at a younger age. I still could have had fun, but I had a little too much fun.
You can kind of get away with some of that stuff, can't you, as a younger athlete? And as you're progressing as an older athlete, it definitely makes the difference, and you feel it as you get older.
Yeah.
So obviously your progression all the way through, and then as your athletic career changed and you got into CrossFit, and I remember you telling me that your first introduction to CrossFit was just jumping in on when I think it was regionals, or it was the Open, and you just crushed one of the Open workouts, to the astonishment of one of your coaches, having been so new into CrossFit. But you're a seasoned athlete now, and you've been in a number of Opens and CrossFit Games, and up to that level now. This year is a kind of muted CrossFit season by the looks of it, with the COVID on our doorstep kind of thing. The Open coming up, are you competing the Open this year? What's your plans around that?
Yes and no. The year is going to be as we all know, it's going to be the same year as last year in terms of CrossFit. So, it's going to be a lot of online competitions, etc. Right? I do become a master this year. I really wanted to make a push for the CrossFit Masters, but it's so unknown right now. With the whole COVID situation, and I think my focus is obviously having fun with the gym, with the CrossFit Open, and trying to encourage others to sign up, especially a lot of our new members. But it's not going to be the same feel as it had been previous years. I mean, we're the only province right now that can operate in gyms. I think someone just told me Calgary gyms are still shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Quebec gyms are still shut down. There's a lot of people not going to be in it, or it's going to be working from home and doing that. I think that's going to be the fun aspect. But in the competitive aspect, I don't think it's there. But I do think the aspect that everyone's going to still do it, whether they have a dumbbell at home or no equipment at home. That's what's cool. I think that the community, everyone's going to be still competing at the CrossFit Opens, but it's not in the sense of, I want to make regionals this year, because there's not going to be no regionals, or with sanctionals. The games are going to be like 5 people at the games this year again. So my goal is not that. My goal is to, sign up for the Open, do well, have fun, and enjoy another COVID Open.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, I think, this year. And you've probably seen that the sign-up numbers are down quite drastically on last year, and it's a big one. And do you feel like, as a gym owner, it's been really difficult to motivate people in your gym to sign up?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's hard to motivate, but we're in British Columbia, we're not even allowed to do high intensity interval training.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a ban on that. So there's a lot of things trying to push us away from it. We're still going to do it, of course, as a gym. We've been doing it since day one, and I love the aspect, but it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be our Friday night lights. It's not going to be hanging out after, enjoying the thing. So I think the motivation is down, but it will come back. I mean, everyone's struggling with it. It's like all my hockey player kids I train, or softball girls, they're not playing games. They're just practicing 6 feet apart. You try to play hockey 6 feet apart, right? It's next to impossible. It's a contact sport. So those motivation for those kids that come to the gym, it's not there. It's like they don't have anything to look forward to the weekend. So it's kind of similar to the CrossFit Opens. I feel, for me personally, it's like, I'm excited to do the Opens and challenge myself, but it doesn't have the same atmosphere, and it's just like practice. It's not like actually playing, right?
Did you feel there will be that real kind of pent up desire to get back to it next year?
Oh yeah.
Assuming that we are back fully functioning, you think the next year the Open will be back to, would you say it will be the same as it was back in, say, 2017, 18, 19, or do you think it'll be higher or lower? What do you think?
I think it's going to go up. I think there's going to be a huge demand of people wanting to get back into competing local competitions. There's going to be that drive back. Right now, the drive is not there for a lot of individuals, and I can't blame them, right? A lot of people are just trying to survive this pandemic. There's a lot of struggles outside the gym that they're facing, and it's just been, crushing people mentally, physically. And when this gets all over, they're going to be like, okay, everything's back to normal. There's there's competitions, local comps, which everyone thrived off, and then they do the Open, because the Open was a buy-in to some other local comps. So I think that's going to be huge. It's going to grow crazy next year, right? This year it's going to be, let's just get by this year, but let's also try to make the most of it too as well, right? Because I don't want to just get by. I never want to just get by. I want to help push it, but end of the day, I can't defeat COVID, right? So next year will be crazy, right? It's be really busy, and I think that I really look forward to that, and this year too as well.
Well, I, for one of the people who would definitely be back at it next year fully. I think I'm going to sign up this year and go for it. I haven't done much high intensity stuff for a while, so it's going to be a bit different this year. Definitely I'm going to be kind of plodding my way through it. But I think definitely next year, I personally feel that real drive to get back to it next year. So I'm excited about that. You mentioned about trying for masters this year and going for that level. You're just about to turn 35. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got this new division to go into. How has the aging process really affected your approach to training? I know that you had injuries through your hockey career that you had to deal with, kind of thing, and that's something you've already had. But there's obviously other things that come with aging. So how is that impacting your training?
I think I feel the best I've ever have in a lot of years, because the years I push it for the games or regionals or anything like that, I'm training so hard, my body's getting broken down, and there's a higher chance of injuries. Obviously, when you train really hard, right? As all athletes know, it's really tough on the body, tough on the mind, everything like that. I love it. I love the grind, but I have shoulder injuries here, I have knee injuries, tendonitis, all that kind of stuff. So now this year, I'm still training hard. I'm still lifting heavy, but I'm just doing it smarter. The other day, my coach, oh yeah, all coaches have coaches. I don't never program for myself. It'll just be bicep curls and chest. But my coach the other day is like, how'd you do on the Saturday walk? And I was like, you know what? I really stressed out this week. I sold a house, not feeling great, trying to find a place. And he was just like, that's why you're a seasoned vet, because when to just pull back. That's what you should have done. You shouldn't have just pushed through it just because of that. When all athletes, in training, it's like, see how you feel. Like, especially as I'm aging, is if I feel good, yeah. But in competition, you don't listen to your body. You're just like, okay, I'm going to kill myself today. But during training, you got to listen to your body, especially as I get older, right? Because I want to do this for a long time. So I look at it now as a long-term approach. Before it was just like, who cares about my body? But now it's just, let's go. Let's treat it better. Listen to your body. Let's stay away from injuries. Do everything you can control. So.
I'm interested in what you said there about, there's some things that not necessarily physical demands on you, but you're talking about moving house and the stresses that come around and going like that. And that's much more, psychological, and your mind is elsewhere. And I think that's something a lot of people, when they're thinking about the stresses and, it's like, well, I've been training hard, therefore I should take that rest. But from what I'm hearing from you, it's like, I've got a lot on my mind, and mentally I'm not there, and I should take a rest for that reason. Is that something else that's changed with age, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge part of the battle is your mind game, right? So if your head's not in the right place, you're just gonna put a half-ass. Can I say that word? Can't say that word.
Yeah, you can. Okay.
Don't put a half-ass effort into something, right? It's gonna get bad results with that. So that extra day that I need to get my mind right, or extra 2 days, extra 3 days to come back to training, because I don't want to make it like a chore. I want to make it something that's fun. And when it becomes fun, then, it's long term, right? I had periods of hockey. The reason why I quit hockey was it just wasn't fun. I hated it. I hated the sport because it wasn't like no more passion, right? It's even hard for me to get me on the ice. I played since I was like 3 years old. It's really hard to get me on the ice because I just know how hard it was me mentally, right? And the same thing started getting into that with CrossFit. It was just like not everyone, but like me, myself, I expected myself to be this athlete because I made the CrossFit Games in 2015. I should have made 2016. I should have made 2017. I should have made 2018 because I made it before. I had this huge pressure on me. And it was just driving me crazy to the point where I started hating CrossFit. I had no motivation. Now I'm at a point where I love to go to the gym, right? I love to challenge myself. My coach I don't do all the lifting every day. I don't lift heavy weights every day. It's like once in a while I'll lift heavy weights, but I work on technique. I work on my energy systems. I do fun workouts. And I do it with, my wife, and I do it with my coaches and stuff like that too at the gym. That's a time for me to have fun. And as soon as it stops becoming fun, I need to pull back, right? So some days I have to just, pull back, go for a walk with the wifey, with the dog, you know?
It's interesting you say that, because I'm obviously a few levels of the masters athlete ahead of you, kind of thing. But I also know a lot of people in my kind of age group who are very highly competitive, and I think one thing that they prioritize above everything else is the fun aspect of it.
Yeah.
And there's even athletes that we sponsor. Greg Davis comes to mind, who's one of our ambassadors, highly competitive athlete, and he talks about the camaraderie there is behind the scenes at the CrossFit Games Masters division. And he said it's basically a group of friends getting together. They get this opportunity to all come and compete together in one place. And it's fully enjoyment. They've all got careers, successful in their careers, a lot of them. They're not doing it for the prestige or money. There isn't, the prestige in the Masters division isn't really there, kind of thing. No. But it's all about the enjoyment. And they say that now that they're not at that pinnacle, it's the enjoyment has come back into their training. So it's interesting to hear you talk about that.
Yeah, you nailed that right on. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, way more fun now. I want to move on. I want to continue with the nutrition side of it and bring that in here. You mentioned, obviously, with your wife Sharon, really helping with your nutrition is something that you've learned a lot as you've moved towards becoming a masters athlete. What nutritional kind of adjustments have you made to improve your performance, or support your performance as you are kind of entering this masters category? And let's throw in even supplementation that you use around that too.
Well, I'll start by first saying is I think as we get older, I think the biggest thing is inflammation, right? And that's what causes pain in my joints and my knees and tendonitis and stuff like that too. So having a better inflammation reducing protocol, I don't even know if that's a word, but sure, we'll use that. My wife
coin that phrase now. That's yours.
So reducing my sugar intake. I used to eat a lot of sugar. It's not like I was eating chocolate bars, but every single thing I was having around the house, like let's say for ketchup, I love ketchup on everything, right? And I was crushing ketchup. So the amount of sugar in that, now I switched to a different. Actually, my wife makes her own sauces for me. So there's no sugar out there or anything like that. So reduction of sugar is a huge one for me, not just for my inflammation, my joints. It's like my mind, right? I put sugar in my coffee, I did all that kind of stuff. And when I made those adjustments as I'm getting older, it's huge, right? A big thing too, adding collagen, eating a lot more fish, all that kind of stuff. So like, we eat salmon 3 times, 4 times a week. So, everything, all the my wife cooks like crazy meals and she does a really good job with it. So I'm getting a really well balanced diet. Before I wasn't, right? And that's not on her, that was on me. Like, going to Tim Hortons, grabbing a bagel, grabbing a double, and all that stuff was just adding to problems, right? And now I feel better. My body feels like I'm 20 right now. I feel better now, my body, in terms of pain and soreness than it ever has, right? And that's just because I was putting diesel in a Ferrari.
Right.
You guys on Ferraris use like premium jet fuel.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I was putting like rocks in my engine, right?
I'm really interested in Sharon's sauce recipes. I'm just like you. I'm a ketchup addict. If she has a ketchup recipe that isn't all that sugar in it, I definitely want that. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, she's got a library of just books here, right? Just books, lots of books. A lot of them are cooking books, right? So she will take and make her own different versions of it. So I love sauce and everything. So she's made like the healthiest sauces. Like, this morning I had some cilantro sauce I put on my eggs. And I don't know what it was. It tasted great. And I had tahini today for my salmon. So like a different one she made in the blender. So all that stuff is adding up, I think. And today's society, as based on your protein, it has 5 ingredients in your protein, right? You go get a mega mass builder. Not trying to bash other companies, but there's like 30 ingredients. I can't pronounce any of them. Not one word. Maybe sugar. That's the only one I can pronounce on that. But you know what I mean? It's just full with crap. So the ability to create foods and sauces by yourself at home adds huge, man. It might not add huge in a week, but when I've been doing this for the last 3 years, wow, my body's been dramatic. Just feels so much better. Not just that, my mind, everything. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I can also feel like there's a product range coming on that Sharon's going to bring out her special sauces now. That'll be market.
Sharon sauce.
Yeah, exactly. And you touched on supplements there, and obviously protein powders, and you touched on looking for less processed of alternatives when it does come to supplementation. And that's something that I just like you, that's something that I have brought into my diet in general, little processing as possible. But are there other supplements that you enjoy, rely on? It doesn't have to be Blonyx products. It can be any. Tell us about that. What is your regular kind of routine around
that? Morning, just before I train around 12 to 1, I'll take beta and creatine. Especially I have to start taking beta right now when it's competition time, because I notice it affects a lot more, right? Just before, like that 4-week period before, I do cycle on off beta alanine, but just so I can feel it. I don't know. Is that something you'll talk to me after about this?
Yeah.
Then I take creatine, like never cycle off that. I mean, sometimes I just forget to take it, but creatine is always in that shake. And then at nighttime, I'll take creatine and beta again from your guys' supplement line. And I've been doing that with you guys since you guys had it 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And I try to stay away from protein. Not saying I don't love your guys' protein. I just eat so much real protein. The only time I take protein in a day would be at nighttime, and I would take the Blonyx one, and just because it's so easy on my stomach. But I usually take that with we usually make I make like yogurt bowls. So I'll have some like the Greek organic, no sugar added yogurt. I'll mix that in there, some oats and stuff like that too, and I'll crush that up. So that's when I take it, and then that's pretty much it. I really don't take that many supplements. I do take collagen too. There's this one collagen, it's like electrolyte collagen mix. I forgot the company name. I think it's by True. And I just put that in my shaker cup with the creatine in that too, because I notice collagen help out a lot in terms of the way my joints feel and stuff. And I used to have really bad tendonitis 2 years ago when I was at the CrossFit Games. It was so bad. Like it was like I would have to take, I wanted to take ibuprofens
Mhm.
so bad because there's just so much pain.
Yeah, tendonitis definitely. It's interesting. I'm always looking for something to help with that kind of thing. I think that's something that with age definitely comes a little more of those niggly tendinosis that you have in your joints. They kind of never really go away, do they? After the age of
Yeah, and
uh,
I think
30.
supplementation is really good, but also is doing your due diligence on um, fixing your structural imbalances. There's a reason why you're getting tendonitis. So I had to step back and focus on different things, whether it be eccentric loading like crazy cycles and taking the weight down, doing different types of drills to kind of fire my VMO and everything like that. So it's not just that, but it's in line with supplementation. I think it does help out a lot.
Awesome. So we've been talking about Sharon quite a bit, and I want to continue down that path here. So you and Sharon obviously own and run Semiamu, and she's also your nutritionist. I'm really interested in here. How does that work? I think if I did that with my wife, Rachel, I'm not sure how long our relationship would last.
I
Tell
can
us
tell
about
you,
that dynamic.
so in my truck, my dog, sometimes if we leave him in the truck just to like go inside a store, I come back and he'll pull out like a wrapper underneath my truck seat. I mean, for some guys who know, like, oh, I know he's talking, or some girls like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. And the wife is like, what's this? And I'm like, I was I just I ran out of time. She's like, you don't run out of time. There's so much food in that fridge. Why is there a Starbucks wrapper in here? Not trying to bash Starbucks, but all that product is like there's probably like 100 ingredients in a bagel or on a bagel and a sandwich thing. And I don't know how processed that stuff is.
Yeah.
That's probably like I'm just putting like straight chemicals in my body. But that's one thing. She doesn't care that I eat that stuff. She just, that we make such good food at home. And it's just like she's almost like I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. Hey Sharon.
And how about owning a gym together? Like I mean, to own a business in general can be a very stressful experience. And I know that success has really followed you guys. And I've been to your gym a number of times, and and from the old place to the new, much more expansive space, and seen you, coaching not only CrossFit athletes with following your kind of heritage on that, but also top level athletes in general, and then hockey athletes. So you're really integrating with the community there, and it's successful. But there's also stress that comes with growing a successful business too. So with both of them, like how is your relationship? How do you divide the workload, and then how is your relationship going with that? Does it threaten it or stress it?
So Sharon and I don't actually work together. I mean, we worked together a lot at the start, but we developed such a good team now that we have a general manager, we have over 12 coaches, personal trainers, RMTs. That it's a business where I'm more into the gym side. She does a lot of the marketing and all the social kind of interactions. I handle the day-to-days with our general manager. Because she's so busy with her nutrition company now. So she has her own company that she has three employees now for her nutrition company. And that's been taken off, and she's at a pace where, she has a huge wait list of clients, and that keeps growing because she does such good work with that. So, at the start, it was a lot of us running the gym. Now she comes when we come home together or anything like that, she has her workload, I have my workload, and it doesn't really interact there anymore. So I would say it's awesome. I mean, they both correlate with each other because it's still within our gym, but she outreaches all over the world and stuff like that too. But it's never been a problem. We're very similar minded in terms of what we love and what we like to do with our business. We're always on the same page. We give each other good ideas, and so I think that we blend really well together. I'm pretty fortunate to have her. Right, she's amazing. So make sure she sees that. But yeah, we don't scrap. I mean, we do fight. The only time we fight is when she beats me in a workout, or I beat her in a workout and we yell at the reps and that kind of stuff. Or if I don't say, she doesn't go all the way down, or she says my lockout is shit or something like that, we fight about that kind of stuff. So we do fight about working out. I remember one time she beat me in this workout, and I said like 22 reps and she said 32, and I'm like, no way, my reps way faster. How's that like? So I guess that's our Tilly's. But just because we're both competitive, she's so competitive, whether it be with her work or family or anything like that. She always puts her all into everything. So that's the only time we I think butt heads is because we're so competitive, right?
It's interesting to say that. My wife, whenever I train with her, the thing she does after is starts to post videos of my no reps on social media. That's how vindictive it gets in our household around that kind of stuff. It is absolutely the biggest point of contention, is that movement quality is the main thing. I'm also impressed by Sharon having obviously your successful business to run. She still manages to have a little side hustle off to the side. Ever the entrepreneur there.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call that a side hustle. That's a main business now. She's richer than me now, so
amazing. Joe, we're obviously focusing on you. We've put together a great video, and brought in a film crew to kind of meet you and Sharon and hear your story. And I think it's great. And for anyone who's listening, I do suggest to go and watch it. It's a short video. It's a minute long, but it really kind of gives the essence of who you are and how you have progressed to a point now where you're influencing the next generation. But what do you want to be known for? This is a lot. I want to finish on this. What's the one thing that your legacy will be and known for, as you kind of progress into your master's level and on from here? What would you love to be known for?
That's a tough question. You probably should ask me that before. Like, I don't want to be known personally as anything. I'd rather have the success of the gym. Me and my wife together, that we created an atmosphere to help individuals achieve higher standards in health, right? Or, whether it be get their first muscle up, or, help them overcome, health issues, or, someone losing like 50 pounds, or someone, getting a scholarship. Those are the things that I want to be known for, as a facility or individual that can help quality of life and change it for the good, positive and everything like that. That's what I want to be known for. Always say, that guy's a beast. That
guy's a beast. That's it. And really on your gravestone. There you go.
No, I like hearing that from, a lot of people, my friends and stuff like that too. It's just like, oh, that guy's a beast, or, that guy's crazy, that kind of stuff. It's still like, I like to hear that kind of stuff. It makes me feel good because I put so much hard work and energy and everything. But the biggest thing is just to all the members in our facility and all the members outside, to help inspire others to train hard, live a good quality lifestyle, right? Because as we see in today's age, is health is the number one most important thing in your life. People argue your family is more important, but if your health's not there, you can't look after your family. So it has to be a huge priority, right? You got to take care of yourself so you can help take care of everyone in your life, right?
Amazing. Excellent. Well, Joe, as a business owner, I'm proud to have you as an athlete of ours, and also honored to call you my friend as well. So I really appreciate your time today, and I think your story is excellent. So thanks for sharing it with us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rowan, and everything you guys have done for me in the last 7 years. You guys are amazing, and they're a great company. I'm so excited that you guys, launching this new campaign, I want to call it. I just think it's something that's totally different. I think it's true, it's real, and it's raw. So I like it.
Awesome. Thanks, man.